Welcome everyone. Here in the previous class we have studied the different types of crosses. We have studied that is Mendel's laws of inheritance, that is 3 laws were there: law of dominance, law of segregation and law of independent assortment. We have also seen why Mendel have chosen all those characters. Mendel did his research on pea plant. So and he discovered that is he discovered 3 laws: law of dominance, law of segregation and law of independent assortment. So here, but in this now after so many years, so we have seen that there are, apart from this, there are deviations from Mendel's principles. We have seen in some organisms there are deviations from the Mendel's principles. Some of the organisms have shown deviation from Mendel's principles. So what are those deviations? What are those variations? That is from Mendel's, whatever the laws has been given now. Laws were given that all the organisms in law of dominance, all the organisms will show dominant traits in F1 generation. So but in some organisms now, after so many years, in some organisms there was a variation in what Mendel has said. There was variation in what Mendel has said. So there are variations from Mendel's. We have studied what are the Mendel's laws and what does it state. Now we will see what are the variations, other variations from Mendel's law. So in this variations, now we will be seeing about complete dominance and codominance. We will see complete dominance and codominance here. But before we move to those topics, here let us understand the small concept. First we need to understand the word locus. What does locus mean? What does the word locus mean? Locus is a singular, loci is the plural. So locus is nothing but position of gene on chromosome. Locus is nothing but position of gene, position of a gene on chromosome. For example, if this is a chromosome, each chromosome will have 2 arms. That is, when it is in the cell division, chromosomes, when the cell is ready to divide, here chromatin will change into chromosome. Before cell division, when the cell is not dividing, the genetic material is, that is chromatin, it will be in the chromatin. But during cell division, now what happens? When the cell is not dividing, this chromatin, this is called as what? Thread like, bundle like structures will be, this is the chromatin. So but during cell division, these chromatin will change into shape. So this chromatin getting shape, so this is called as the chromosome. This is nothing but chromosome. So here on the chromosomes genes will be present. On the chromosomes genes will be present. We have already known what are genes. Genes are the unit of inheritance which gives us characters. Genes are the unit of inheritance. And where are these genes present? On the chromosomes. Genes are present on the chromosomes. Genes are present on chromosome. For example, this is chromosome. A gene is present on this chromosome. So the where gene is present, the location where the gene is present, this is called as locus. This is called as locus. For example, for tallness, tallness is a character. Tallness is a character. So for tallness we can have, that is T. Tallness is represented by the character T. So this tallness is because of the gene. The tallness of the plant is because of a gene. For example, this is a chromosome. So a gene which has tallness. So this is the place or the location where this tallness gene is located. This is the place or location where we find gene. Genes are present on chromosome. Genes are present on chromosome. So this is whole chromosome. So where it is present? So this is the location where gene is present. So this is called as locus. Locus is nothing but location on which the gene is present. So this is the locus. Locus of which gene? Tall. This is the locus for which gene? tallness. So the tall gene is located here on the chromosome. The gene which is responsible for tallness is located on this place. So this is the locus. This is the locus, that is the place where gene is located. Locus is nothing but the place or the position where gene is located on the chromosome. Now here, for example, this is the locus where gene is located. With gene, that is gene for tallness. Then if this is the gene, there will be homologous chromosome. There will be homologous chromosome on which, because for gene, each gene, that is tallness, gene for tallness. So it will have two alleles, capital T and small t. For each gene, two types of alleles will be present. For example, two alleles will be present. So this is the gene, this capital T, and for the small t na, one homologous chromosome will be present beside it, which will be having this small t, which will be having this small t. So on one chromosome, one allele of gene is there, and another chromosome, another allele of gene. So this is the homologous chromosome. Homologous chromosome. On homologous chromosome, we find another form of gene. Gene is present in two forms. Okay, gene is present in two forms, that is for each gene we have two alleles. On one chromosome, one allele will be, that is one allele will be present which on a particular location. That location is called as locus. That location is called as locus, and on its homologous chromosome another allele will be present. Another allele will be present. So if there is interaction between these two alleles, if there is interaction between these two alleles, that is if there is interaction between capital T and small t, if there is interaction between capital T and small t, that is interaction between two alleles of same gene, because one gene will be having two alleles. One gene will be having two alleles. So this is one gene, same gene. So there is interaction, but these two genes are present in, these two alleles are present on different chromosomes. So here, if there is interaction between these two alleles, if there is interaction between these two alleles, that is capital T and small t, so such type of interaction is called as intra-allelic or intergenic interaction. It is called as, if there is interaction between two alleles of the same gene, if there is interaction between two alleles of the same gene present on different chromosomes, that is homologous chromosome, then that type of interaction is called as intra-allelic or intragenic interaction. Here one more type of interaction is there. For example, here this is chromosome. On this chromosome now, two types of genes are present. Here on this chromosome only one gene was present, that is allele of one gene was present. Now here on a single gene, two characters are, that is not single gene, on single chromosome two characters are present, that is genes for two characters are present. So here at this point, that is on the top arm, on the right, that is upper arm, we have, this is the locus for tallness gene, and on the lower arm, this is the locus for, that is a gene which has which shows axillary position of flower. Because of the gene, this gene, the flowers will be producing axillary flowers. So on the same chromosome, that is on two arms of the chromosome, we find two different alleles of two genes. So this is one allele of tallness gene and this is one allele of axillary position of the flower. So both these genes, both these characters, both the genes for two different characters are present on the same gene, Okay, and here for this one, this is the chromosome. Now another homologous chromosome will be there, which will be having, because for each character, for this character we have two alleles. One allele will be on one chromosome, another allele will be on the homologous chromosome. So this is, will have these two characters, that is two alleles. One allele is on this chromosome and one allele is on this chromosome. So here this now if there is interaction between these two alleles of two different genes, if there is interaction between two alleles of two different genes, this is one different gene for tallness, this is one gene for axillary position. If there is interaction between two different genes on two different genes, then this type of interaction is called as intergenic or non-allelic interaction. Here it is allelic, means it is interaction between two different two different alleles, two alleles of same gene. But here there is interaction between alleles of different genes. So that is non-allelic, not same alleles, that is they are not the alleles of the same gene, they are the alleles of different gene. This is for tall gene and this is for axillary position. So if there is interaction between two different genes, or if there is interaction between two different alleles for different genes, two alleles of different genes, then such type of interaction is called as intergenic or non-allelic interaction. That interaction is called as intergenic or non-allelic interaction. So interaction between these two. For example, if this is, it is a homologous. So this is having, now this is another chromosome with purple and white, that is color. This gene is for color. For color we have capital P and small p, that is capital P for purple, small p for white. So a gene will have capital P and small p. So here if there is interaction between this one and this one, if there is interaction between two genes, that is tallness and purple, genes of tallness and genes of purple color, then that interaction is also called as intergenic or non-allelic. Here also it was different, it was tall, interaction between tall gene and axillary position gene. Here also there is different interaction, that is interaction between two different genes, one is tall and another is purple. If it is on the same chromosome, if there is interaction between two different genes on the same chromosome, or interaction between two different genes on two different chromosomes, so those type of interaction is called as intergenic or non-allelic interactions. It can be, these interaction can be on the same, between two different gene on same chromosome, between two different gene on two different chromosomes. So that is called as intergenic or non-allelic. If it is between two same alleles, if the interaction between if the interaction is between two different alleles of the same gene, then it is intragenic or intra-allelic. Here this is between two different genes on two, that is on the same chromosome or on different chromosome, then it is intergenic or non-allelic interactions. So here this type of interaction, that is this type of interaction, that is intragenic or intra-allelic interactions. Examples are incomplete dominance and co-dominance. These are the variations from Mendel's laws. These are the variations from Mendel's laws. And here this interaction, that is intergenic interaction. Example here is polygenic inheritance and epistasis. These are the examples where we see this type of interaction, that is intergenic or non-allelic type of interaction. So, all these are variations from Mendel's. So, how they are variating, that is how they are different from Mendel's, what is the difference? So, we will see in this next class, we will see this incomplete dominance and codominance. In your book we have incomplete dominance and codominance. So, in the next class we will see incomplete dominance and codominance, which are nothing but some variations from the Mendel's principles.